What's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch review. Happy Black Friday to everybody, even though it's not really a holiday. It's more that thing where you can go out and get stuff cheaper, so I guess that's a reason to be happy, or get it for the same amount that it previously was. The company just marked it up on you. But nevertheless, speaking of inflated items, it is Eaglemoss Day today, and we all know that those have been inflated. But today we are going to take a look at an oldie but a goodie, a classic rewind while we wait on new stock. Yes, I have new ships coming in. I am told it is a bit delayed, but we will deal with it. Plenty of other ships in the holds to review, so we're going to take a look at the XL Voyager. All right, this is actually going to be our last XL for a while. I am fresh out of XLs after this, so we are definitely going to take a look at it. Of course, this is one of the, I believe, the fourth XL to ever come out in the XL line, so there it is on the table before us. We're going to take a look at it very quickly. We've had it in some of our comparisons, but first, before we even get to the ship, we're going to take a look at the magazine. Now, I'm going to take the ship off the table while we review the magazine for reasons I will explain in a little while. And there we have the magazine right before us. Then, of course, we have that beautiful frontal shot of Voyager, that giant snout, the nice saucer section. It is the U.S.S. Voyager NCC 74656 special issue. It is an Intrepid class launched in 2371 at a length of 343 meters with 15 decks. Let's get in. Of course, this is the special issue, or the XL magazine, so they're going to have probably more details on the show. And we're not creating Star Trek Voyager and making Star Trek Voyager. There we have the typical stand instructions. They're wrong. They're not correct. The stand is not supposed to go on the back of the nacelles like that. It's actually supposed to go around the saucer. So I'll show you in the stand instructions. But yeah, those are definitely the incorrect instructions. And there we have a nice frontal shot of the U.S.S. Voyager. It is first seen in the episode Caretaker. It is an Intrepid class. It is last seen in the episode Endgame. And it is, of course, created by Rick Sternbach, captained by Catherine Janeway. And then, of course, we have the Voyager crews. They started off in the Caretaker. We have the ship itself. Not sure if that's the studio model or if that's the CGI model, because they used both in Voyager. There we have Voyager. Of course, if you've watched the episode Caretaker, you know that Voyager, or Deep Space Nine, makes a cameo, as well as Quark makes a cameo. So there we go. Nice to always have a good crossover episode. And then, of course, we have bios on each of our character. Good old Tom Paris, B'Elanna Torres. And, you know, one of my favorite parts about Voyager is I thought the cast was bang on. It was just a great, like a dysfunctional family cast, and it was just hilarious. I thought they had really good cast chemistry, and that's why I love Voyager so much. Again, if you watch Rowan J. Coleman's YouTube channel, he describes Voyager as feel-good Star Trek, and I'll 100% agree with that. In fact, one of the new shows I think is turning out a lot like that is Strange New Worlds. It's not, I don't think it's like anything groundbreaking, but it's just good. Sit down, have a beer, and watch Star Trek. So yeah, no, definitely good stuff. And then, of course, we have new directions, and yeah, we have some sketch art of Voyager, what it could look like, how it's been, how it's going, all that good stuff. And yeah, and there we go for that. And then we have a nice bottom shot of the U.S.S. Voyager. So there we go. So let's get on with our stand instructions, because the ones in the magazine are wrong. So but of course, this is an old model, so everybody knows that by now. But just to kind of show you, yeah, these are weight. There's no way they're coming on. This is die cast, okay? This is heavy enough. There's no way you're holding the ship from back here. So again, all you do, and this I did glue this stand. It is very unstable, by the way. So and there we have it, and that'll clamp on Voyager, and it does have kind of an elevated look, so it looks like it's blasting off into outer space. Now, one thing I want to advise you of is, again, this saucer is stupid heavy, so you just gotta watch out, be very careful in placing it. I've had this thing fall off the stand a few times. Luckily, it's big, it's like a freaking brick, so it's not gonna, it hasn't damaged anything yet, but just be advised if you do get this model, especially if you don't have it yet, that you just want to be careful about stand placement. And that's why I glued the base onto the stand itself. Oops, hit one of my lighting. And without further ado, let's take a look at the XL Voyager. So I'm going to address the elephant in the room, and straight away, if we look in close, you can see the windows are misaligned. This was a huge uproar when this model came out. I'm going to be honest, in my opinion, as I say with most of these models, I don't notice stuff like this from 5 feet away. This stays just under my TV. I see a good shot of the profile of the ship, and that to me is more than enough. So I'm not really all that bugged by this. I know a lot of people who this was a huge uproar when this came out, but it doesn't bug me that much. So nevertheless, just something I thought I'd point out right away. There we have the nice registration number. Looks nice and straight. NCC 74656 U.S.S. Voyager. Got the phaser strips going on. Lots of nice details. I don't have the standard Voyager model, but this just has a lot of nice details. Fun fact, for the Hallmark ornaments, Voyager was my first Hallmark ornament. Yeah, this is, I was just getting into it at the time, and this is super cool. Got the nice RCS thrusters. They are done in like a nice bronze paint. Looks really sharp, really good. Got all the escape pods here outlined in a nice Mylanta yellow. Yeah, called Mylanta there. Yellow. And there we have the bridge. Got some detail, some embossed detail that's done in a nice silver. Then we have the Mylanta yellow escape pods around the bridge for the bridge crew. And then, of course, we have some molded detail back here. And moving in, you can see the forward area of the ship. I forget, I think that's one of the dining halls or whatnot. I always forget. And then, of course, we have some molded detail right up front in this sensor area. We have a, I believe it's a navigational deflector, but correct me if I'm wrong. And again, that's done with some orange detail. Got, looks like it's just painted in there. Yeah, that's definitely just painted. And then if we move down, we got the deflector dish itself with a nice kind of light bronze and then a light blue surround. You get the torpedo tubes right under there, outdone in yellow. Then, of course, we have the Aero shuttle detail, which I really, really dig. That is stupid cool. I really like that. And you got Voyager on the bottom, that nice text there. NCC 74656 looking good. Got some red outlines here. And then, of course, more embossed detail along the bottom of the saucer, which is great because you'll never see this. And then, of course, we have a bunch of lower ports right down here. I believe this is where the warp core is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe, could be, kind of. Because we do see it ejected from that general area of the ship, or maybe it's back here, so I'm not entirely sure. And then, of course, again, you see window misalignments. It is what it is. You got your phaser strips right along the bottom. Then you got this gridding looking really, really good. NCC 74656 moving on to the nacelles. Got more little phaser strips, more little gridding phaser strips on the back. Wow, Voyager was like stacked as far as weapons go. And then, of course, you have a mixture of paint and transparent plastic on the nacelles. No, nacelle misalignment's kind of hard when you have this big base connecting all of it. But those look really good. You can see the little port screw detail in there. That doesn't bug me too much. And then you got red paint for the Bastard collectors, which is looking good. And the transparent plastic just goes straight down on the sides. Got some nice red outline for your impulse engines in the back here. I've never been crazy about this impulse position. I always thought they should be more back here, but it is what it is. And then I love the little landing pad detail. You even got like a little ribbed area for your launch bay doors, which is pretty cool. Voyager with infinite shuttles. Even you can see the small text Voyager NCC 74656 looking good. More grid detail, and again, just lots of nice details that make it otherwise bland Federation color palette really pop. Got your torpedo tubes back here, and then, of course, I always forget, is this like a cargo port, I think, back here. And then you got the pennant kind of outline down on the back, looking very good. And yeah, just a really good model. And also, this model feels really heavy. Like, there's a lot of weight in this saucer. Probably a lot of die cast too. So again, you're getting a very substantial model here. This, you could probably throw this at somebody and do some damage. Not that I'm suggesting anything like that, but just saying. Besides, you'll break the model. But yeah. So, and there you go. For the model, that looks really, really good. And for a couple quick comparisons, I don't have a standard Voyager, as I already stated, but I do have Warship Voyager, which is actually one of our first reviews. You can just kind of see, I mean, Warship Voyager basically fits inside the saucer there. Just so crazy how that works out. You can kind of get a general size comparison to see just how much they upscaled it. And again, as I stated in the Warship Voyager review, the standard Voyager model, doesn't skimp on detail either. There you can see them side by side. So again, you get a lot of detail in both these models, and it looks really, really good. I mean, the XL is almost like twice the size of the standard Voyager model, so that looks pretty cool. Sorry for the shadow and whatnot, but just trying to illustrate this the best I can. And of course, we'll do one final comparison. And this one, I'm gonna move the camera up just a smidge because we're going to get it in there with another XL. We'll get it in with the XL Enterprise D so you can see how that looks. And again, of course, not to scale. The Enterprise D should typically dwarf the U.S.S. Voyager in all forms of size. But just because of the nature of how these ships are constructed, a Voyager is pretty much the same weight as the Enterprise and just about a bigger ship in terms of the model size. So again, and there you can see how that looks. And again, that looks pretty super cool. So just a quick comparison to get some sizes down. So let's summarize. And there we have it for the Eaglemoss XL U.S.S. Voyager, the fourth installment to the XL collection. So it came out quite a while ago. But nevertheless, the argument with XLs is it worth that extra premium? These were pretty much twice the price of the standard models. They still are pretty much twice the price of the standard models as far as Master Replica goes. And yeah, I'd say it definitely is. Now, again, the standard Voyager model, at least the Warship Voyager, and this are pretty well evenly matched on detail. But what you get more of with this is just the general weight and just the size of it. I mean, this really feels like a substantial model. You saw it's about as big as the Enterprise D. It feels as heavy as the Enterprise D. I mean, there was a lot of love put into this model, and that alone, I think, makes this definitely worth it. Now, you can make the argument of the window misalignments, and again, that is more than valid, especially for the price you're paying. But in my opinion, as I previously stated, you just don't, I just don't take a look up close at mine to really notice. And again, you have to be looking really up close to notice it. There's no way you can tell from back here. So take that argument for what you will. And again, we know we got a lot of Voyager fans out there. So if you're a fan of Voyager, this is definitely worth it. I definitely highly recommend it if you can find it for a valid price. Don't overpay scalper prices. And of course, if you want one of your own, you can check out masterreplicas.com. Stay tuned for one of their drops. You can also check realmerch.com, especially, hey, it's Black Friday. So by the time I get this review published, you may still have time. And so give those guys a check out. I'll put a link to Master Replicas in the description down below. And if I see this ship on there, I'll post a link in the description specifically to that. That being said, that is going to conclude this review. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if you found this review fun and informative, hit that like button down below. Also, if you're not subscribed yet, consider subscribing to my channel. I do Eaglemoss reviews of all kinds of ships from like 2 to 3 times a week. So definitely be free to check that out. And of course, check out my Eaglemoss playlist. Link in the description down below. And I've been FC Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Live long and prosper.